Thanks to John Strong and Stu Holden. So we have another confirmed quarter-final for you. It will be Spain against Belgium in Los Angeles this Friday. We also know France will face Morocco in Boston and Norway are going to take on England in Miami. As we welcome you back to our platform here at Seattle Stadium, Rebecca Lowe, Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and a very disappointed, no doubt, Alexi Lalas. But he is still smiling, as you should be, after quite the summer. But in the end, Lex, it was a step too far for this team. After everything they've given us this summer, they looked almost unrecognizable tonight.
Well, first off, I think congratulations have to go to this Belgium team to come into this environment and put on a show like that. And from a U.S. perspective, they picked the worst time to play their worst game. And I think Mauricio Pochettino and the players would admit that. To echo what Stu and John said, anytime this happens, and I've been through this now a lot, the question is always, well, was this a success? Look, I think that this team did win hearts and minds. I think this team did bring people into the tent, and they should be incredibly proud for that. But also, there's a part of me that says the time for moral victories is over, and so we've left something on the table here. And that, to me, is disappointing. I also know it's going to be disappointing to the players and to Mauricio Pochettino when they look at this game. Because, again, the goals that they gave up at times were self-inflicted against a better team. But this U.S. team has beaten better teams in the past. It just didn't happen here today. So it's going to be disappointing to go out, but also in the way in which they went out, which was much more of a whimper than a roar that we had seen through this tournament.
As you say, very convincing from Rudy Garcia and Belgium, and many congratulations to them for that spot in the quarterfinals. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, your first thoughts after this one?
My first thought, they played a better team, and they are better than US when you look at the paper also. And the game, I think this was the worst game that the US did, but they faced also a proper opponent where I was like, Rudy Garcia has a plan for second half, but US couldn't figure out the first half with the starting 11. But this is the game. US, they should be proud. They had momentum. They didn't disappoint anyone in the way that in the other games. Yes, the result today is not good, but in the end, I think they had a good run, and they did maximum what they could in this tournament. Then, yes, you can have luck, you can go further, but I think this was also a little bit of a reality check for US.
Thierry?
Levels. You didn't play Bosnia. You didn't play the team that you played in your group stage. Levels. The World Cup is different in group stage. Round of 32 never existed before. Everyone made history in a round 32. It never existed before. That's what you had to go and win today. Beat that Belgian team that people thought they were talking about Balogun, Chalibion. There's a game to play and to win. Right? So unfortunately, one host, two hosts, three hosts out. That's exactly what you don't want at a World Cup. That is annoying for me. But at the end of the very day, this guy that you see on the screen controlled the midfield by himself every single time. Stop every counters, controlled it. And I wanted to see a team that could defend 1v1. I wanted to see a team that was going to be different when they were going to be 1-0 down or not. And they couldn't answer. Levels. And at the end of the day, the third goal changed everything, because it looked like they might be coming back. And when you concede a goal like that, you're going nowhere. This is the World Cup. A new tournament has started. Levels.
You have a point at 2-1, Lexi. They had some momentum, they were on the ball, and then the Matt Friis error.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Friis started the game with an incredible save, and we've been saying all tournament that he has yet to really make the big save. That could have been his big save if he hadn't followed it up later with what is really going to live long in his mind and the minds of American soccer fans. Because in that moment, to Thierry's point, there was momentum. We've talked so much about momentum in this tournament. There was momentum. And in a game where there wasn't a whole lot to be happy about, and there wasn't a whole lot of momentum, coming out in the second half, yeah, that was something that this team needed. And then boom, you just sap it right there in that moment. You see the players, you see them on the field, you see them kick the ball, but they go through a process in a tournament. living together, traveling together, seeing everything that's happening around them. And it's incredibly emotional. I'm sure it's emotional for Mauricio Pochettino and for all of these players here. They will need time to digest this. I think that they will be honest with themselves. I think that Mauricio Pochettino will be honest with us, with the press. I think as an American soccer community that continues to grow, we'll be honest about what we need to do in order to get to Sherry's point, that next level and be able to compete consistently with the elite teams in the world.
Just real quick, I have to ask you, do you think the Flo Balogun thing became a distraction?
No, not for this team. I think it was noise outside. And by the way, I don't think Flo Balogun was the problem at all today. I thought he worked the channels. I thought he made himself available. I just don't think that he was provided the service in those crucial areas that he needs. So this was not on Flo Balogun. There were a lot of bad performances out there today, but it wasn't Flo Balogun.
I just wanted to add something. People out there, yes, there is a disappointment on the result, but let's not stop pushing this sport in this country. I think that's very important. Built from what happened, yes, there were levels today. Belgium was way better. I told you it's not because the big guns are on the bench that you need to disrespect that team or not underestimate that team, because Trossard can play, the Catelara can play, Luque Bacchio can play, and you saw what the midfield can do, and at the back we can go also. But do not stop here believing that it can happen. It will happen eventually one day.
Okay.
While this World Cup is over for this U.S. men's national team, this World Cup is far from over for the United States.
Okay, yeah, good point, gentlemen. Thank you. So 4-1, the final score then. The first half damage was done by Charles Catelara. This Belgian team were 2-1 up at half-time and added 2 more after the break. And Belgium growing nicely now into this, what is still a magical World Cup. This is the watch party in Kortrijk, back home in Belgium, in the middle of the night. But now, their quarter-finalists will have more post-match thoughts when we come back. Charles Catelara causing problems for the US in that first half. His first World Cup goals doing the damage right now for his team. And back home, it's the middle of the night in Herzliya, Belgium. These are the moments that they're enjoying, though, no matter the fact that it's 2:33 a.m. when that goal went in. As we welcome you back to Seattle Stadium, I'm Rebecca Lowe alongside Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Alexi Lalas. Let's show you then the first half of this game in Seattle. Beforehand, a beautiful scene, the flyover over this stadium, but just 9 minutes in, it went a little wrong, Alexi.
Yep, this U.S. team just got punched in the nose for the first time this tournament. I guess the good news is it could have been worse, but right off the bat, U.S. is used to scoring early. Well, Belgium said, not so fast. The Catelara getting in. Anybody want to clear it? Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay, well, there you go. A gift to Belgium in the first minutes, and yeah, Mauricio Pochettino is not a happy man, nor should he be.
We have seen this before. When it comes to free kick to US, Malik Tillman steps up, gets the good free kick, a little deflection, but it's still a free kick goal. So his second goal of the tournament, and he gets the equalizer there so far. Nice celebration.
And then Rebecca said, I want to see how they're going to defend their 1v1. They couldn't stop Leandro Trossard. Don't sleep on the Catelara. Do not sleep on Trossard. Do not sleep on Dodi Luque Bacchio. The big guns are on the bench, but those guys are on the field. 2-1 Belgium.
Yeah, that is a key point. The big guns are on the bench. Plenty of reinforcements to come on for Belgium. But from a US perspective, Thierry, how do they get back into this?
They need to rectify something in midfield. It's too easy for Belgium. Too easy. They're controlling that midfield. Ball, they're switching the ball all the time in 1v1 with Leandro Trossard and sometimes Luque Bacchio. Lack of rhythm. We saw a couple of times Malik Tillman doing some stuff. A couple of runs of Balogun. But you know what? You still have 45 minutes to reverse it and plus. But it's going to be a tough one because the big gun might come on when you're going to open up to play.
Zlatan, your thoughts?
This is the first 45 minutes I see US where they don't feel comfortable. I mean, the attack is not working, and when the attack is not working, the defending has to work. But the defending is not also working. So something has to happen for the second half, and they need to get Pulisic more on the side. Not even one time Robinson comes on doing his overload that he normally does. but also Belgium is making it difficult for them. So it's two teams on the pitch, not only one.
I don't think anybody had a good half. They can't defend the cross. They can't defend one-on-one. They couldn't defend in the air. They can't defend the long ball to the other side. So Mauricio Pochettino, you're going to earn his money this halftime, and he better make some changes either in personnel or tactics.
So what does Mauricio Pochettino and his staff have